Happy Thanksgiving week, everyone. Are you ready? I'm not. I aspire to be, but I'm not quite ready. I will be by Thanksgiving. But first, I have here an email that I'm sending out that I'm going to go ahead and record myself reading, because I know some of you are on the go all the time and don't often have the time to just sit down and read something. So I thought I'd go ahead and just video myself reading what I've written. And you can just play it and listen to it as you're on your way to work. So let us begin. It's called I'm Releasing Wexford Carol on December the 8th. I wrote it years ago and I'm finally seeing it to completion. Several years ago, the assistant pastor of our church at the time asked if I would contribute a vocal solo to our church's Christmas service. I had total discretion about what I would sing. For whatever reason, the Wexford Carol kept coming to mind. But I couldn't find a solo arrangement that I really liked. I remember driving home from church with Jonathan one Sunday, this problem on my mind, and complaining bitterly about my sparse and rather boring options. He looked over at me with a twinkle in his eye, and I already knew what he was going to say. Well, sounds like you better do something about that. Jonathan is a firm believer in the idea that if you see a problem, you have no right to complain about it unless you're ready to at least try solving it. And he spent 8 brutal years in the South Carolina House of Representatives, being a good example of this philosophy. But I don't write music, I protested. Okay, I wrote one thing back in college, but I'm not fast. I don't know if I could even finish it in time. His unperturbed response was, try. So I did. 2 pages into my project at the piano with good old-fashioned manuscript paper, I realized I was so engrossed I couldn't have stopped if I wanted to. It was a difficult time of life for me. I'm not sure that it's gotten a whole lot better, but it was especially difficult back then. As I explained in an old blog post, which I'm going to read from, I wrote about it that year, around this time, around Thanksgiving, and it went like this. It felt like a pure gift from God to be pain-free, happily absorbed in musical composition, astonished that something so beautiful was coming out of my head. I kept thanking him over and over again for it, hoping against hope that this gift might go on for a month or 2 or more. But I'm getting a little ahead of myself. This year has not been an easy one for me. Right before the 1st of January, I found out I had Lyme disease and mycoplasma pneumonia, as well as a host of food sensitivities. As the year progressed and treatment began, I found out that there were many other issues at work as well. Rocky Mountain spotted fever, high histamine levels in my body caused by, most likely, very high levels of mold spores, 2 species of which are known autoimmune triggers in my house. Most recently, I have discovered that I also have a uterine fibroid and an ovarian cyst. This would be one reason why I have so much pelvic pain on a cyclical schedule. Today, November 26th, has not been a good day. Following 2 weeks of very minimal symptoms, I have had a day of stomach pain, pelvic pain, clumsiness, brain fog, fatigue, and headache, all preceded by gradually increasing OCD symptoms. It's hard when these flares hit after feeling good for so long. Just a week ago, I told Jonathan, I feel like I'm coming alive again. I have energy. For the first time in years, I've been utterly, completely, and happily absorbed in a creative project. But this is what treatment for chronic infections looks like. I feel like I slowly climb up a flight of stairs high enough to see the light and then fall back down, half of them into the dark. I know I am getting better slowly, but there are days when I feel like someone is reaching out of a dark pit to grab my ankle and pull me under again. And yet, I am so thankful for the 2 weeks before this one. It was at church a few Sundays back that someone reminded me I needed to choose a Christmas song to sing for our Christmas program next month. On the way home, I pondered what to pick, and the Wexford Carol popped into my head. I'd like to sing it, I told Jonathan, but I doubt I'll find an arrangement that I love. I mean, I can almost hear how it should go in my head, but where would I begin looking for what I'm hearing? As soon as I said the words, I cringed because I knew what he was going to say next. Well, get to work then. So the next day, I got out my manuscript paper, sat down at the piano, and started plunking out some harmonizations, a little nervous that I wouldn't be able to finish what I had started. For a week and a half, I had the new project on my mind all the time. I'd sit at the piano and lose track of time. With no pain to distract me and my mind clear and focused, 2 hours would fly by like minutes. I finished it last week on Tuesday, and I'm so pleased with it. But I am more pleased with what it represents. It felt like God was just handing me a gift for this only purpose of seeing me act delighted. I wanted it to go on for a lot longer. It didn't, but that makes it no less valuable a gift. For a little while, I had a reminder of what life can be on the other side of my illness. I've had many tears today because it feels like night closing in, and I can't say how long it might last this time. But I have had a beautiful day not so long ago. The timing of the project with Thanksgiving Day approaching has struck me, thanking God on Thanksgiving Day for what he did at Christmas time. The words go like this: Good people all, this Christmas time, consider well and bear in mind what our good God for us has done in sending his beloved Son. With Mary Holy we should pray to God with love this Christmas day. In Bethlehem upon that morn there was a blessed Messiah born. As the psalmist said, weeping may endure for a night, but joy cometh in the morning. My pessimistic mind tells me that the morning never lasts and there's always another night around the corner, and that is true. But because our good God sent his beloved Son, I can endure the nights and thank him for all the mornings until the last night interrupted by the brightest morning I have ever seen. That's what I wrote the year I wrote this arrangement, which was probably something like 8 years ago on my old blog. After I'd finished my composition that year, Jonathan plugged all my scribbles into music writing software with playback capabilities. The first thing I did was share that file with my parents. I grew up listening to my dad plunking out his own compositions at the piano, one of which I recorded and released last Easter. You can listen to it or download it on all the major platforms like Spotify and Apple. Just Google Good Friday Amanda Barber, and there's also a link in the body of the email where you can listen to it for free. Anyway, naturally, I wanted to get my dad's feedback right away. Mom and Dad called me as soon as they got it, ecstatic. My dad was practically in tears over it, proud of me, I think, and truly complimentary. Dad was always honest when he praised, so I knew it wasn't just because I was his darling little girl. Dad is gone home now, and the memory of his and Mom's enthusiasm is one I will cherish until we're all reunited one day. In short, I think I succeeded in communicating the flavor, the mystery, and the anticipatory joy of the Wexford Carol more than I ever thought possible. Ever since then, I've wanted 3 things. First, to get the arrangement orchestrated. Second, to produce a quality downloadable recording with orchestration. And finally, to arrange it again for choir and orchestra. As of next week, 2 of those desires will come to fruition. I called up a friend of mine this spring named Zachary Horner. He's a talented composer and is adept at mixing and mastering soundtracks. He's done original soundtracks for films and for a lot of independent musicians like me and my brother. Check out his website and listen to his work here. And there is a link to his personal website and his business website in the body of this email. He agreed to help me with this project and has already turned out several drafts and should wrap up the final draft before I hit publish on this piece. It's sounding so beautiful already, and I can't wait to share the finished music with you. As these projects do, this project has evolved as it's gone on. Last week, Zachary and I were talking instrumentation and decided to switch from one instrument to violin at about 3 points in the piece, but the violin patch he was using seemed a tiny bit wooden to me. "Hey, do you want to just record it?" he asked. I've only been playing violin since I was 5, so why not put my skills to work? So when the song gets released, you can listen for the following motif and tip your hat to me. I can't plunk it in here to this video, but again, that little video clip is in the body of the email. And yes, it was a bit challenging playing with those big honking earphones on, attached to a long cord, but I had to be able to listen to the orchestration in order to play in sync with what was already written. My niece, Katie Ellis, has provided me with some lovely cover art below, whipping it up in pencil and watercolor in about 2 weeks. I'm indebted to her talents here. You should see the other beautiful things she's painted at Lady Katie P shop on Redbubble, which I have linked to. And you can also see her artwork in the body of my email. If you should wish to sing this arrangement yourself one day, my husband has already published the sheet music on Sheet Music Plus, and it's one of our biggest sellers on there. The piano accompaniment is not difficult for your average church pianist, and the arrangement is not hard, although the high A above the staff presents its challenges. So warm up and vocalize if you want to sing this. The piano accompaniment version is the only version available, but I hope to add an orchestrated version and then a choral version with orchestration and/or piano later next year. Wexford Carol sheet music is, you can find the link to where you can buy the sheet music in the body of the email. And finally, the release date is tentatively set for December 8th. Should the vicissitudes of time and circumstance throw us off that schedule, I'll be sure to let you know. Otherwise, look for it on December 8th. I'll send out another email blast when it goes live. In the meantime, please go and have yourself a wonderful Thanksgiving Day, as I fully intend to do. That's all for now. Until next time, folks.